Hello everyone. So this video is continuation of our earlier video where we learned basic features of PyCharm IDE. I'll suggest if you haven't watched that video, you just go ahead and watch that first. So if you have seen that video, we did the onboarding tour. As part of this video, we will go ahead and learn the editor basics. So if you can follow my cursor, you can see the editor basics contain addition, deletion, selection, and moving and duplicating your code with shortcut, and the whole section is divided into 9 lessons. So let's go ahead and start our first lesson, which is context action. Okay, so let's go ahead and click on context actions. After you click on context action, it will navigate you through interactive learning session where it will guide you the IDE features. So the left section highlighting the actions and the right side the action which you need to perform. So let's go ahead and follow what IDE is asking us to do. So if you can see, it is asking us to press Option or Alt and Enter. So this particular symbol, if you can follow my cursor, is Option or Alt and return is Enter. So I'm just going ahead and pressing Alt Enter. So just perform the action what IDE is saying, because if you are going ahead and keeping your cursor anywhere else, you see it started to give us warning that caret is in an unexpected place. You'll have to restore it and it will navigate you back to the position where interactive learning session want you to follow. So just go ahead and press Alt Enter and you see it is saying you can remove the parameter. And so let's go ahead and press Enter and you see it just removed the parameter to apply the quick fix. But why at the first place it gave us suggestion that remove the second parameter? Because if you can see this particular method with unused parameter is not using the second parameter. It's only using the first parameter and there is no trace that this method is using any other parameter. And that's the reason our IDE was giving a suggestion like you can go ahead and remove this parameter. Alright, so if you can see now as we were moving our caret in IDE from here and there, the interactive session is lost and it is giving us warning like caret is an unexpected location, and you can always go and click on the restore button to restore your cursor where IDE is suggesting you to have it. So now as we completed first 2 instruction by PyCharm, you must have got the idea what is this lesson all about. The meaning of context action is when you press Alt and Enter on a particular position, based on the context of that caret, it suggests you the code completion option. Like if you can follow, my current cursor is highlighting in the if block, and if we press Alt Enter, you see we are getting a different action. So let's go ahead and apply De Morgan's law and see what it's doing. So you can see when you opted for De Morgan's law, it just reversed the changes. Like earlier we were checking if A or B, now we are checking if not A or not B. So it's reverse of what we were doing. So I believe that's what De Morgan's law must be about. Alright, so let's move ahead with our next lesson and just click on search for actions. So this lesson is about searching the actions which we can use in editors. So let's go ahead and press keyboard shortcut Shift Command A, or you can even press Shift 2 times and it will open this dialog, which is a search everywhere dialog. On this dialog, you can find your code entities, even IDE items. Okay, so let's go ahead and follow the instruction. So it's suggesting if you want to learn about PyCharm, type about, and if you press enter, it will give you the details about current installed PyCharm edition, and you can copy and close this as well. Now it is asking us to open the dialog again and type show line numbers. Let's go ahead and press enter. And if you'll notice, earlier we were showing line numbers in the code, and after selecting that, it is not showing line numbers anymore. Alright, so let's move ahead with our next lesson. So in this lesson, we will learn more about context action and how with the help of keyboard shortcuts, we can expand or shrink a particular code selection. So now if you can follow, my current caret is highlighting on the text that, and if you want to select that text on your clipboard, you just have to press Option and up arrow. So I'm just going ahead and pressing Option and up arrow, and you see we are able to select that text. Furthermore, if you want to select even the quotes as part of your string object, you need to press that again, and here we are able to select the whole string including the code. Now let's move ahead and press the same keyboard shortcut one more time and let's see what it's going to do. And here you see it is able to select the whole method parameter text, whatever is there inside the small bracket. Let's go ahead and press that keyboard shortcuts again. And now we are able to include the small brackets as well. Let's go ahead and see what happens if we are selecting the same keyboard shortcuts back again. We are able to select the whole line. So suppose if we want to expand the current selection even more, even further, we can again go ahead and press Alt and up arrow. Until now, it was selecting the whole text for that particular method, the sum method. Now it is able to select the whole line. Now let's go ahead and press Alt and up arrow again to see what it does. And here you can see, so it selected the whole if block. So that was the expansion of your code selection. But what if we have to shrink our code selection? Like we only want to select the if block and we want to go ahead and shrink our current code selection. Instead of pressing Alt and up arrow, let's go ahead and press Alt and down arrow. And here you see, we were able to select the whole if block. So let's move ahead to our next lesson, how to comment line with keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so let's move ahead to our next lesson. So to comment on any line, we can just press Windows or command and forward slash. So if you are following my screen, you can see we commented the first line of code. And if you have to uncomment, you need to press the same set of keyboard shortcuts again. And you can toggle between them, comment and uncomment, by just pressing command and forward slash. In Windows, it should be control and forward slash. Alright, so let's move ahead to our third set of instruction, which is how we can comment several lines of code at once. So let's say if we have to comment all of these, we can just select it, all of them. Either you can do Control A. We can select a particular line by Alt and up arrow. And let's say now we have to comment this particular line of code, which consists the for loop code. So we can press command and forward slash. And here we are able to successfully comment out these line of codes. Now let's go ahead to our next lesson, which is duplicate and delete line. So if you can follow my caret, it is showing on the line number 7. And if we want to duplicate this particular line of code, we can press command and D. And here you can see it duplicated the line number 7 and we have the similar code what we had on the line number 7. Now let's follow the second instruction. And the second instruction, it's asking us to apply the same action to multiple lines. Shift up arrow, and here we have selected line number 6, line number 7 and partial line number 5. So let's go ahead and press command and D, and it started giving us some error because went ahead and selected some portion of line number 5 which was not expected, I believe. I think though we are getting this error, we can just skip it for now because the idea is not chase the error but to learn about the IDE features. So now if you are following the next instruction, it is asking us to delete the current line. So to delete the current line, we need to press command and delete. I'm pressing command and delete. So if you can follow my current line of, so if you can follow, my caret is at line number 10 and we are attempting to delete this line. So to delete it, if you can follow, we need to press command and delete. I think command and delete is not working. And I believe this particular symbol is for backspace. So I'm pressing command and backspace and we successfully deleted that particular line of code. All right. So the next lesson is about to move the code fragment. So let's go ahead and click on that. So what is code fragment? What is the meaning of moving the code fragment? So you can see we have a different code fragments here. So let's say we have this line of code can be called as a code fragments. Even this line of code can be called as a code fragments. And if we want to place this particular line of code above the print statements, we can do that by keyboard shortcuts. So we don't need to copy it or cut it and paste it before line number 12, but we can also do it by using keyboard shortcut. But let's go ahead and follow the instruction. First, I will press this restore button. So it should restore our caret, which is highlighting on line number 12. And it is asking us to press Option, Shift and down arrow, if you can follow. So this is Option, Shift and down arrow. And now we moved the print statement below the line number 12. Similarly, if we need to place line number 13 above line number 12, we can do that by pressing Shift, Alt and up arrow. Alright, now it is saying we can even move the whole method just by using Shift, Windows and up arrow. So if you can see, my caret is highlighting at line number 11, which is our method. So if I'll press, okay, so if we are pressing Shift, Alt and up arrow, it is moving the line, but it's not moving the whole method. And if you can follow the instruction, it is asking us to press Shift, Windows or Command and up arrow, not Option. So Option or Alt is only when you need to move the particular line. But suppose if you want to move the whole method, I should be Shift, Command and up arrow. So let's go ahead and press Shift, Command and up arrow, and you see we moved the whole method above the say state method. And now if we need to move this particular method below say state, we can do that by Shift, Command and down arrow. So that's interesting. So that was about how you can move your code fragments. So one thing which we learned is moving the line of code, and second we learned how we can move the whole code fragments like method. So now let's go to our next lesson, which is collapse. So if you can follow the instruction, it is saying sometimes we need to collapse a piece of code for better readability. And to collapse that, we can press command and hyphen. So we can toggle between command hyphen and command equal to expand or collapse your code in the editor. Now let's say we want to collapse all the region in the code. So we need to press command shift and hyphen. And here you can see we are able to collapse all the region, and we can follow the region description and the starting point. So we can navigate easily to the classes or methods which could be most relevant to us for editing or changing the code. So in this lesson, we will see how we can do multiple selection inside your editor using keyboard shortcut. So if you're following through, you can see the first instruction is asking us to press Ctrl and G. So let's go ahead and press Ctrl G. And when we've pressed Ctrl and G, it selected the TH block. And now if we'll press that again, you see it selected the next occurrence of TH. And if we press Ctrl Shift and G, we were able to deselect all the, so when we press Ctrl Shift and G, we were able to deselect the last occurrence. And now if we'll press Ctrl, Command and G, we successfully selected all the occurrences of TH block. And if we need to change it, we need to type it with TD. And here you can see that we changed all the occurrences of TH with TD just by using keyboard shortcuts. Alright, so let's move ahead with our next lesson, which is basic completion. So if you can follow your caret, it is at the line number 11 inside moving district. And we can see that there is a completion list with the matching suggestion. So let's go ahead and select it. So let's move ahead to our next instruction, which is to activate basic completion explicitly. So if we want a basic completion explicitly, and if you can follow my caret currently highlighting at line number 15, and we go ahead and press Ctrl and space bar. So this is the space bar. And in case if you have a doubt, you can just click on this and it will highlight what is this particular symbol about. Okay, so let's go ahead and press Ctrl and spacebar. So now in the next instruction, it is asking us to select distributor. So let's go ahead and press that item, which is distributor, and pressing enter. We successfully selected the item from the instruction. So in this lesson, we learned how we can do the basic completion just by using Ctrl and Shift bar, or how we can do the basic completion And we also learned when we start typing a text inside a method, IntelliJ automatically sees the context and give a auto suggestion. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is postfix completion. So by reading the instruction, I couldn't get much about it, but let's go ahead and see what happens if we are doing .f. And let's go ahead and select, and we can see it just applied the whole if block. So basically, postfix completion is how you you don't need to move your caret behind, and still you can complete the code, like write the if block, write while block, write a loop, I believe. So we are also getting format and format map. I don't know what are these, but definitely we can apply for. So let's click on this, and you see we are able to apply a for loop.